Okay, so let's see what we got here. Darlene, are you ready to do more?
Sure.
Are you prepared?
Yeah.
All right.
Darlene!
Well, let's welcome Darlene back to the stage. All right, let's see what's up here. You need to get you eat the mic.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah. Okay? Seriously. All right? Because you're real soft-spoken.
A little bit.
Yeah, and we want to hear you.
I don't want to miss any words. Okay, I won't skip half the poem this time. I don't remember the name of this one either, so I'll just go into it. Forever, it seems, is overrated. A concept expected to stretch beyond the boundaries of time, leaking into its own dimension of enormity, but really, what makes it forever if no one ever lasts long enough to witness? We've all heard the metaphor about a gunshot in a forest with no one around to hear it, but consider this. 1 minute can drone on and on, can last hours in our mind. The mind is the creator that gave birth to this concept of time. So just like we can stretch the truth, we can build it up and grind it down, molding this monster of time to match your own perceptions of reality and fact, and that's what you taught me. Because you promised forever, and that's what I was expecting. It never dawned on me that, like fingerprints, our basic ideals can be various in perspectives and their aspect, but who in their right mind would assume that forever could stop? Just stop. Thriving, strong, and pulsing with passion one moment, and then in a breath it had dissipated. Forgive me for expecting forever to last eternally, because infinity, to me, seemed to last longer than lifetimes, but perhaps it's to the extent of a life and a conscious and fades away when we do. Forgive me for expecting forever to last just as long as I wanted our life to. Thank you. Okay. Hi, I'm Darlene, and sometimes I go by Swiper. So this is my favorite poem. It's called Let's Talk About Love. I read it my first night at Cush. Let's talk about green eyes, smiling bright as they meet the cyan in mine. Let's talk about comfort, the serenity that fills the air like we've been breathing in fields of roses. Because to this day, that's what reminds me of you. Let's talk about love and its capacity to permanently store memories in a corner of my heart that will always remind me of the musky sweet summer embrace. The lightest shade of red will always remind me of what we shared and of what is not okay. Let's talk about injustice, about how they think it's okay to... how society shames those who fall in love because of words they read in a really old book handled by millions of people that has logically been altered in time and translation in your judging eyes. Let's talk about abandonment, about how this little book can take reins over judgment and allow judgment over those it claims should not be judged. I am talking about how a mother and father can come together and cast out the soul that they jointly made, because I happen to fall in love with someone who happened to have the same gender as my own. Someone who was born with things they had no choice over, but who made me happier than any other. At the end of the day, shouldn't that be the only thing that matters? Not that she had breasts instead of facial hair, but that she looked at me, and the light in her eyes shone brighter than any stars in the sky. That her adoration for me compelled me to move mountains in her name, with no other motive but to finally be able to express how it felt when my skin would sing when she touched me. The fire of her passion burned brighter than the crimson shades of her hair that danced in the autumn winds in the evening. Let's talk about Emily, and how I hope she finds herself a world that accepts her somewhere. That this can become a world that allows her to find once again what we shared. Her smile, that could turn my that could turn my darkest night into the brightest light. And in that moment, every war would stand still and time would freeze in fear that if it continued, it would lose this moment, never feel compassion again, because what this world needs is just a fraction of her passion, because then maybe the world could finally realize that love is love, and it doesn't matter what got you there. Okay, that's all I got right now. Thank you.